Have you ever tried where someone did something to you that was actually a minor thing, like cutting you off in line? Or maybe someone said something to you that was out of line, that was uncalled for. Someone that took their anger out on you when it wasn't justified, it wasn't fair. And so in a way of getting back at them, you got filled up with anger that you wanted to take on them, to get fairness, to get justice, to get even. When in reality, that anger that you kept, that you were overwhelmed by, it didn't make you happy again. It didn't bring back justice. What it really did is that it ruined your day because you held on to it, and then you couldn't be happy throughout the rest of your day because you were so overwhelmed and filled with anger. There is a great story about when Buddha was alive, and he was influencing a lot of people, but not everyone liked him because they obviously felt threatened or challenged by him and his views, and they felt like their religion was challenged, which they had a lot of pride for. And so there was an old man whose son started following Buddha. And the old man, he wasn't having it. He was upset, he was angry, and he wanted to actually kill Buddha because he felt like he was taking his son away from him. He felt like he was converting his son from their religion. And so he went to see Buddha and was prepared to bash his head in and kill him. And back then they used a lot of different insults than we would use nowadays. So when he was approaching Buddha, he came and he was yelling at him, "You dog, you pig!" And Buddha was just sitting there with nothing but a smile on his face, just feeling compassion for the man. And he asks him, "Tell me, old man, I'm sure you have a lot of friends. Do these people ever come and visit you?" And the old man, being prideful, obviously answered, "Yes, of course, I have friends and they always come and visit me." And Buddha was smiling and said, "Okay, well, do it ever happens that they bring you a present when they come visit you?" And the old man again answered, "Yes, of course, people love me, they bring me presents all the time. What is it to you?" And Buddha smiled and he said, "Well, tell me, old man, if someone comes with a present to you, and you don't want the present, you don't accept it, to whom does the present belong then?" And the old man looked confused and said, "Well, then it belongs to the person who brought me the present in the first place." And Buddha smiled and said, "Well, old man, I don't accept your present of anger. You can keep it to yourself. I don't want it." And I love that story because it's so amazing at helping us understand that we really don't have to be angry. Like when someone does something out of anger to us, insults us, or does something to us, we often start getting angry because it's a way of us fighting back, of us defending ourselves, when in reality, all we're doing is making ourselves filled with anger in a negative way. We're making ourselves filled with suffering. And we don't realize that we don't have to respond with anger. We don't realize that between the insults or whatever it is that someone is doing to us, there is a space where we can choose how we want to react to that. We can choose our emotions in a way. And so when someone does something to us, we are so accustomed at reacting instantly that we don't realize that we have the freedom of choosing what we want to feel about what they're doing to us. Or it can be any situation whatsoever. Like earlier today when I was filming this video, I forgot my fucking microphone and I was driving on my bike for 30 minutes. It took me an hour just to get back and forth to pick it up in this cold winter weather. And I could choose if I want to respond to that with frustration, with upset, with feeling unfair treated by whatever, with feeling stupid. Or I can choose to, not react that way. I can choose to laugh about it and enjoy how stupid it is that I'm driving on my bike for that amount of time in this cold weather. We often think that when something happens to us that upsets us, in order for us to get justice, in order for us to get back at the other person, we need to get filled with anger so we can take it out on them and punish them with the anger. Or if we're in a relationship and someone does something that upsets us, our partner does something that hurts us, we keep on to the sadness because we want to show them that they hurted us. We want them to feel bad, and so we become sad in a way to express that to them, to show them it's not okay what they did. When in reality we can just tell them, hey, it's not okay, and we can still remain happy inside. So it doesn't mean that we shouldn't stand up for ourselves. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't put our foot down when someone does something that's wrong to us. What it means is that when someone does something that hurts you, that upsets you, that makes you angry, as a way of getting revenge, doesn't it make a lot more sense to remove the negative impact that what they did to you had on you? So instead of getting overwhelmed by anger, we remove that negative impact by not letting it upset us. And then we get even because it doesn't have any negative impact, so we don't need to get back at them because we're still okay. Whereas if we let ourselves get overwhelmed by anger, there's no way that we can get back and get even and get fair and get justice and get balance again, because we're suffering so much from the anger. And so what they did to us now has a huge negative impact on us, because we're overwhelmed by the negative emotion that we allowed them to bring into our lives. And so again, if we want to get even, if we want to get fairness and justice back, the easiest and most logical way is really to remove the negative impact that they had on us by not allowing ourselves to suffer from choosing a negative emotion as a response to what they did. Instead, we remove that negative impact by not letting it upset us, by not reacting so strongly and keeping that reaction stored in our body throughout the rest of our days. And so now, what they did to us doesn't upset us for the entire day, it doesn't ruin our day, and even worse, bring that negative mood into our other relationships. It doesn't make us ruin other people's day, and then multiplying the negative impact that thing that happened to us has on our lives and now on the people that we care about's lives. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you understood the story as well. I think it's an amazing way of demonstrating the freedom that we actually have to choose our response and to remain happy even though someone does something that upsets us. If you liked the video, please do subscribe and let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. Remember to stay true to you.